Let's try that again. Okay. Hey guys, so sorry for the terrible lighting. It is the middle of the day and I don't know where my thing for my background is. I think it's over there, but I don't feel like putting it together. So we're just gonna roll with it. So terrible lighting, but yeah. So I'm gonna go through my Goodreads, my year in books from Goodreads, and just talk to you about it. I don't have the functions to screen, like show my screen and capture it or whatever, so I will get that hopefully around my birthday in March. That way I can start doing stuff like that, but right now I'm just gonna read it and I'm gonna put like the stats up here somewhere. So yeah, let's get started. So for the year 2020, I read 4,224 pages and 144 books. My shortest book was Warm Up. I don't even remember that book. Oh, my shortest book was Warm Up by V.E. Schwab, which is I think a prequel, if I remember right, or like a short story novella kind of thing for the Vicious series, Vicious and Vengeful. I don't remember what I rated it, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, that was only 15 pages, and I did read that. My longest book was Sarah J. Maas's Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood, and that was 803 pages. My average book length in 2020 was 279 pages. My most popular book was The Hunger Games, which I reread. It has 8 million? That can't be right. It has a lot. Let's just say that. My least popular was the Disasters graphic novel, which I don't get because I absolutely love that. If you haven't read it, check it out. My average rating for 2020 was a 4.3. My highest rated on Goodreads was Heartstopper Volume 3, which I totally still agree with because I absolutely love that series. My first review of the year was of Astronaut, which is a manga that is found in the Orange manga volume 2, I believe, in the complete collection of volume 2 of Orange, and I really liked that. That was super cute. I wish there had been more, but it was just like a short novella inside of that one, and I separated it, but yeah. My last review of the year was Gossip Girl. Did not like that as much. I liked it, but it's hard to explain. Basically, I liked it better than the show because people were less pretentious, which you can see my review of this in my wrap-up, which I'll post below if you're interested. But yeah, it wasn't anything to write home about, so, you know. But I read 144 out of 75 books that I pledged to try to get to. So I met my goal and almost doubled it. I'm mad that I didn't double it. I wanted to, but, you know, I did my best. 144 is still a lot. So yeah, we'll go through the books that I read now. So my first book, like I said, was Astronaut, and I don't know how to pronounce the author, so I apologize. I'm not even going to attempt it. I'm not going to attempt it. And it doesn't say what ratings I gave these, so I'm just going to kind of guess, but I'm pretty sure I gave that a 4 or a 5. I also read Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I think I gave that a 3 or a 4. I liked it, but I didn't want to continue with the series. I read Orange, the Complete Collection, Volume 2, which I loved. It was a great ending, 5 out of 5. I read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Also loved it, was a 5 out of 5. This is so long ago, it feels like. I read Love Boat Taipei, which is by Abigail Hing Nguyen, and this was super cute. I think I gave it a 4. I really liked it, so that was good. I read The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn, and I liked that one as well. That was a 5. I also read Come Tumbling Down by Shauna Maguire, which I think is the 4th or 5th book in the An Absent Dream and all that. I don't know what it's called. Which is a book in a series that he wrote. Did not like it, was still bored. I'm giving up on these. Like, I tried, I just don't like them. Then I read We Used to Be Friends by Amy Spalding. I really liked this one. I think I gave it a 4. Then I read The Beach House, which is a novella between the first Kissing Booth book and the second, which is called Going the Distance. And so The Beach House is the middle book, like the 1.5 or whatever. And it was really cute. I liked this one a lot. I actually liked it better than the second book, which I read next, but I gave that one a 5. And then I read Going the Distance, which is the sequel, which I also gave a 4 or a 5. I'm not sure. I think I deducted a point for something, but I don't remember what, so I would give it a 5. And I read Horror Star by Grady Hendrix. It was not scary. I didn't like that one. I don't remember what I gave it, but it wasn't a good star. Then I read Hidden Bodies by Caroline Kepnes, and I really liked this one as well. I really love the whole U universe and everything in the stories, so I think I gave that one a 5. Then I reread City of Bones, City of Ashes as well by Cassandra Clare, and I think I gave them 4s. I liked them. I was trying to read all of them again, but I just got bored, so I stopped. I completely forgot about that readathon I was doing. Then I read All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven, and I liked this one. I still haven't watched the movie. I need to do that, but I liked the book. And then I read Infinity Sun by Adam Silvera. That was more like a 3, I think. I don't remember anything that happened in it, and I don't plan on continuing with the series, so I probably give it a lower rating now, but I think I gave it a 3 at the time. Then I read Pregnant, and this is by Jenny Hendricks, and I loved this book. Then I read the entire Lock and Key series because I watched the show and freaking loved it, and I read the graphic novels and loved it. So I actually read it twice because I read each graphic novel. There's 6 of them. Loved them, all 5 out of 5. Then I listened to the audiobook for it. It was just really good. That's where I'm gonna leave it. It was a great audiobook. It was full cast. It was like you were listening to a play instead of like reading a book, if that makes any kind of sense. I hope I'm making sense. Sorry, my phone went off. But yeah, it was excellent. So highly recommend that. Then I read In the Tall Grass by Stephen King and Joe Hill. Then I watched the movie for it. I don't remember much. The movie was good. I remember the movie. The book, I don't really remember, but the movie kind of did it justice, so I assume it's the same. Then I read Randomized by Andy Weir, which was a short story that Amazon presented. Didn't care for it. I think that was like a 1 or 2 stars. Then I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown, which I will tell you the truth, I DNF'd this, so I don't know how it's still on my list because I took all my DNFs off, I thought, but I guess I didn't. So I will be rereading this at some point because I do want to read it. I hear it's really good, but I wasn't in the mood for it, so I didn't like it at the time. Then I read All the Stars and Teeth, and that is by Adeline Grace. I loved this one. This one was super cute, super fantastical, you could say. But yeah, it was really good. I liked it a lot. 5 out of 5. And then I read House of Earth and Blood, which I gave a 5 out of 5. And that's by Sarah J. Maas. Then I read Moment of Truth by Casey West. I believe I liked this one. I don't remember it, which is weird because I usually remember all the Casey West books I read because I love Casey West, but I don't remember this one, so I'm assuming I gave it a 3 or 4 because it was less popular in my head. Heartstopper by Volume 3 was next, and that's by Alice Oseman. Loved it, 5 out of 5. Then I reread Amanda Lovelace's poetry books from her The Princess Saves Herself in this one series. I think it's called Women Are Some Kind of Magic is the whole series, and I read The Princess Saves Herself in this one, The Witch Doesn't Burn in this one, and The Mermaid's Voice Returns in this one. So I read them all physically, and then I listened to the audiobook bind-up of them, so that's why I got an extra book there. And Amanda Lovelace actually narrates them herself, and I truly love her voice, so it was excellent. Yeah, highly recommend them. I also read, which will come up, it's like 3 books later, so I'm just going to tell you about it now, but I read Break Your Glass Slippers, which was her new book last year, and that is the You Are Your Own Fairy Tale series that she started, and the second one actually comes out in January of this year, which is now, so I'm super excited. I've already read it. I read it in December because I had an ARC from NetGalley, and I loved it. So check it out if you're interested. She's really good, and I have it pre-ordered and everything, so highly, highly recommend. I also read Havenfall by Sarah Holland. I believe I DNF'd this one, or if I finished it, I don't remember anything about it, so it was like a 2. Then I read Little Fires Everywhere once. Did not like it that much, didn't really vibe with it, and then I started watching the show. I'm like, I feel like I missed stuff. Read it again, completely read it all over again, and I loved it. So I don't know what happened there, but it's by Celeste Ng, and I absolutely loved it overall. It just took me, I guess, 2 tries to like it. That happened with Ready Player One too, a couple years ago, but I really, really liked it, and the show is excellent, so highly recommend that one, 5 out of 5. Then I read All Your Twisted Secrets, and that is by Diana Urban. That one was really good. It was super mysterious and thriller-like, and I loved it. So I think that was a 4 or 5. Then I read Fallen by Lauren Kate. I watched the movie as well. Probably would have liked it had it been like when I read Twilight, but just wasn't vibing with it. But I think I gave it like a 3. Then I reread A Child Called It by Dave Pelzer. I read this for work because I like to read a lot of books for work, and I've read this a million times. It still gets me every time. Excellent book. Very hard to read, but very good. I also read the sequel to that by Dave Pelzer called The Lost Boy, which is another good one. I liked the first one better, but it was still good. I also reread City of Glass and Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. They're still good. I still liked them. I don't want to read 400 books, so, which I do, so I guess it doesn't make sense. I don't want to, it's too long of a series. I can't. I don't care enough about them to keep going, I guess. Then I read The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh and loved it. Super good. A little less vampire-y than I thought, but really good. I reread The Tales of Beetle the Bard. I'm not sure why I reread that. I didn't reread Harry Potter. But anyway, I reread that, and it was cute, as usual. Then I read the Disasters graphic novel because I had read the original book last year, or the year before last, I mean, because now it's 2021. I keep forgetting. I read the original book in 2019, and I loved it because I got it from the publisher, and then, or the author even. And then I picked up the graphic novel, and I really liked it. So, do recommend. It's just as good as the book. I read The Deep by Alma Katsu. Did not like it. Was really bored. Had nothing to do with the Titanic the way I thought it would. So gave it like a 1 or a 2. With Fire on High, and this is by Elizabeth Acevedo, I think is how you say it. And loved it. So good. I want to read more of her books. They're just amazing. 5 out of 5. Then I read Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty, and I loved this book so much. And the show was so good. I literally was watching it like on the edge of my seat, screaming at my computer screen while my husband was playing video games. He's like, "You alright?" I'm like, "No, it's so good." So that was really good. I highly recommend the book and the show. Wish there was more books, but there's not. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Really liked that one. I reread The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Again, loved it. Didn't want to continue just because I was trying to read them all for the prequel that was coming out. Didn't actually read it, so I read the first one for no reason. Then I found Stephen King's short story called Lori, and I read that. It was online, and it was super good. I also read his very, very short book called Elevation, and that was good. It was not very scary. Like, I thought it was going to be scary, but it was more of a contemporary, which was a little weird for me. But I just started getting into Stephen King at this point last year, and you'll see a lot more of him come up. But, yeah, that was weird for me. I also read The Encyclopedia of Counseling for a test I had to take. This is a big bitch of a book. And it killed me. It was so helpful, but it was so much. And I have to read it again for another test. So just, gosh. I also read Carrie and Gwendy's Button Box by Stephen King, and Skeleton Crew and Creepshow by Stephen King. And I loved Carrie. Gwendy's Button Box, I don't remember, but I think it was good. Skeleton Crew, there were some that were good, some that weren't. I think I gave it like a 3 or a 3.5. Creepshow was excellent. It's his graphic novel, and I really liked it. Then I read books 1 and 2 of the Bromance Book Club, which consist of the Bromance Book Club and Undercover Bromance by Lyssa K. Adams, and I loved them. I don't know how I haven't read the third one yet because it came out in like October, and I was so excited for it. I still haven't read it, but they were both excellent. Then I read The Hating Game and 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. Really liked those as well. I got into like a romance kick after this, after Stephen King. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, I read a lot of romance next. So I also read Parental Guidance and Awkward, which were by Avery Flynn, and they are like a sports romance story. Super cute, highly recommend. Then I read Red, White, and Royal Blue. Had to slow that one down, sorry. And that is by Casey McQuiston, I think. McQuiston. And didn't like it as much as everybody else did, I don't think. I think the hype was too big and it just kind of fell flat for me, but it was really good at the same time, so I think I gave it like a 3 or a 4. Probably wouldn't reread it. The other ones I would reread, but I wouldn't read this one. Then I read You Should Have Left, and that is by Danielle Kelman. I read this because I wanted to watch the movie, which I did. The book was good, kind of a little boring, but the movie was the same, so I guess I did it justice. Then I got on a bit of a manga kick, and I read Comey Can't Communicate volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Really liked them all. I don't know which one was my favorite. Probably the one where they get the ramen, because I just love ramen, but it was really good. Then I read one of my favorite books of the year, which was Forever Burned by Trinity Lem. This author is so sweet, so nice, and her book is truly amazing, and she has a sequel coming out hopefully this year. It gets a cover reveal in February, and I'm freaking excited. So we're also I'm rereading, and my book club is reading Forever Burn for February, I believe, of this year for my book club, so really excited to share that with other people. Then I reread The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan, and I still liked it. It was still cute. It's better than the movie still. Next few books were for, what were they for? What was it called? The next few books were for a readathon. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like a really popular one in summer, and I can't remember what it's called. But I read The Shadows by Alex North. It was okay. I read The Call of Cthulhu by H.P. Lovecraft. So freaking boring. Wasn't my thing. Kiki's Delivery Service, which was by Iko Kondo? Kondo, I don't know. And it was super cute. I loved it. And then it was a little bit different than the movie, which was kind of cool. Then I read Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, and I absolutely loved it. I read Lock and Key, and this one was like the last book, but it was like short stories from the world, so it wasn't actually like part of the story. It was just kind of like a bonus thing. Super good. It's the one with the house. Well, the house is on the cover. It's the first like short story collection, and it was really good. Then I read Comey Can't Communicate Volume 5, also really good. Then is where I read the warm-up book by V.E. Schwab and Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Liked them both. Not going to continue with the series, however. It just wasn't that great. Didn't really hit me, you know. Read My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. Freaking loved this book. One of my favorites of the year. And I loved it. It was very hard to read. Very good. Next, I read I'm Thinking of Ending Things. And this was by Ian Reid. I didn't watch the movie yet, but the book was good. Then I reread Twilight to prepare for Midnight Sun. I was planning on reading the whole series. Didn't happen. Just read the first one. Couldn't get past it because, oh my gosh, this is terrible. I still love it. I'm still trash for it, but it just not the same as being in high school, I guess. Then I read Midnight Sun, and just don't come at me, but I did not like it. Then I read Mexican Gothic, and this is by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. Loved it. Super good. And I also reread Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, More Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and Scary Stories 3 to Tell in the Dark. And loved them. Super cute. Still spooky. I also read Nosferatu by Joe Hill. Wasn't that great. Read The Troop by Nick Cutter. Really gross, but didn't hit home. Like, I didn't really like it. 1922 by Stephen King. It was better than the other ones, so I liked that. Clown in a Cornfield was really good. And then after that, I started reading some different stuff because I wanted some happier stuff. Don't know why I picked the next one, though, because it was sad. Call Me By Your Name, and that, I don't remember most of it. I just remember being sad. I also picked up Volume 1 of Sailor Moon, and it was pretty good. I read The Frost Heart, or Voyage of the Frost Heart, depending on which version you have. I read the UK copy because that's the one I had, which is called Frost Heart, and that's by Jamie Littler, and didn't really blow me away. Probably won't continue with the series. Then I read Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, and I absolutely loved it. It's better than the movie. This was for, all these middle grade ones were for a middle grade reader that I did, and that I can't remember the name of. I suck at remembering names, apparently. I read Green Glass House by Kate Milford. Don't remember it at all, didn't like it. Then I read Strange But True. Wasn't that great. It looked a lot better as a movie, but I didn't watch it yet. Then I read Malamander by Thomas Taylor. Super cute. Probably wouldn't continue with the series, though. I also read The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I was bored. Sorry, don't come at me. I was bored. I also continued with the Nightmares series and read Nightmares the Sleepwater Tonic by Jason Segel and Kristen Miller. Really cute. Loved it. I do want to read the rest of that series, but I probably won't get around to it anytime soon. I also read Loudmouth, which was the third book in that sports romance I was talking about. And those are by Avery Flynn. I don't think I said that before. This one was really good as well. I reread Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell and Faith Erin Hicks because I vow to read this every freaking fall because it is my favorite graphic novel and that I've ever read. So, gonna reread that every year, and it was super cute. I loved it. I also read Howl's Moving Castle, and the book is not as good as the movie. I will say that. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. I also picked up Volume 6 of Comey Can't Communicate, and it was really cute as well. I picked up the next installment of Lock and Key that had the short stories and loved it. Then I started getting into some Joe Hill comics, and I read Basket Full of Heads by Joe Hill, and it was so good. So good. I collect them all now because I love it. Then I have a kid's book on here, and I'm not talking middle grade, I'm talking like a picture book, and it is called The Office, and it is basically like a day in preschool if the Office characters were in preschool, and it is so cute. Oh my gosh, please go buy this and read it. It is so good. I bought it for my niece and kept it and bought her another copy because it is adorable, and I love it. Now that excitement's over. I also read A Deadly Education by Naomi Novak, and I didn't get the hype. It wasn't that great. Probably won't continue with the series, but I did enjoy it while I read it, so who knows. Then I also read Swimming Lessons by Lily Reinhart, and I loved it. So good. 5 out of 5. Next was Monster She Wrote, which is a collection of stories about the women who write about monsters and like mythical creatures and all that kind of stuff in literature, and it was super good. Beautiful cover. I really liked that one. I think that's by Lisa Kroger. And then I read All This Time, and this is by the people that did, what's it called? 5 Feet Apart. And super sad, super cute. Loved the ending. 5 out of 5. And then Rachel Hollis came out with a new book called Didn't See That Coming, which I also did not see that coming, girl. And it's good. I love her books and her writing. Then I reread We've Always Lived in the Castle. Still hated it. Next was Horde by Katrina Leno. Loved it. So good. Go read it. Also, the Alucard edition is freaking glorious. I also read Books of Blood by Clive Barker. It is boring. Just throw that out there. I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by B.E. Schwab. So cute. I wouldn't say cute. So depressing, but like in a good way. Like, it was really good. I do like it. I might reread that because we're reading it for my book club in May or April or something because it was requested, and I might reread it because it was pretty good. Then I picked up another Joe Hill comic called The Dollhouse. Super, super freaking dark, but it was good. And I read the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and this was the first book for my book club called Hopeless Book Addicts on Facebook, and hated it. There's nothing else to say, I guess. It wasn't what I thought, and it wasn't good. And the characters just pissed me off. The characters just annoyed me, so, you know. Then I read The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Really liked this one until the end, and the end was kind of like, okay, duh. Like, I could have told you that, and I didn't like it. But then I read Half Truths by Claire Contreras and Twisted Circles by Claire Contreras, and a new favorite author. So good. I also read The Phlebotomist and did not like it. I was bored. I read the first 4 volumes of Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. I think that's how you say it. We'll go with it. And super cute. I loved it. I believe I talked about this in another video. It was really good. I also read the first 3 volumes of Rent a Girlfriend. So cute. A great manga. So the last one was a manga too, by the way. I read Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco, and I loved it, but I do like her Stalking Jack the Ripper series better. I also read Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury and A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess, I think is how you say it. And liked them both. They were a 3 for me. Probably won't reread them ever. And these were for picks that my husband picked for me. He also picked Stephen King's The Langoliers, which is a short story from a book, another book that he has, but it was like a separate copy of it. And it was good. Wasn't very creepy though. I read Shatter Me for a buddy read and did not like it. I would have liked it better had I been younger, had I been in high school, just because it's very youthful. Then I read Halsey's book of poetry called I Would Leave Me If I Could. Super good. Really, really, really emotional. It was good. And then I read In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. Also good. Even though I hate Groundhog Day stories, it was decent. Then I read The Cousins by Karen M. McManus, and oh my gosh, I freaking love this book. It was so good. And then, like I said, I read Shine Your Icy Crown by Amanda Lovelace, which is coming out January 26th, if you're interested, and it was really good. It was part of her You Are Your Own Fairy Tale series. It's book number 2. And then I read The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. Probably his least favorite of mine, honestly. It wasn't that great. It's kind of predictable. Then I started A Court of Thorns and Roses and finished it and loved it, and I'm continuing with the series, and this was for my book club. Then my last book of the month, as I stated, was Gossip Girl, and wasn't that great, wasn't terrible, wasn't great. Didn't like it, I guess you could say, but yeah. So that's all I read. Those are my 2020 stats and everything. So what did you read? What was your favorite? What was your least favorite? How many books did you read? How many pages did you read? Let me know and leave a comment below because I'd love to chat with you. Also, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to subscribe, I'd love to have you stick around. So see you next time though. Bye.